Hi, we've made it to the last chapter of class, chapter 16, which is about information technology. Now, a few things I want to point out to you, and I'm not going to go over the real obvious. You know what internets are, you know what intranets are, so I'm not going to go too much into that. There's a couple things I do want to tell you. Separate from the chapter, just a piece of advice, make friends with the IT department, okay? And whether it be a director, help desk, whoever, be friends with them. And not be buddy-buddy, but be cordial, because they are going to bail you out. Eventually you're going to have some issues with IT and you're going to need their help. And if you are in a very good relationship with them, they're more apt to help you quicker to get you back going. So whenever you work in, wherever you work, or even in school, be nice to the IT folks, okay? You're going to need them. Okay, so a couple things about IT in this chapter I want you to pay attention to. And one of the things is data. And we can form these huge databases, but the databases is only good as the information that you have. Now, back in the marketing part of this class, we talked about research. And research is gathering information, secondary research, primary research, and that was in a chapter. But as you put information in and use this to make decisions, the decisions are only good as the information that's being processed. So make sure that the data that you have is good and clean, reliable. It'll save you a lot of problems toward the end. And a couple other things that to point out in terms of IT is that it's always changing, of course. Stay current, okay? What happens is that if people get laid off, and I hope this never happens to you, but if you do get laid off, try to stay current with the software that you've been using in industry as much as possible, because what happens is that individuals who lose their jobs typically become 1 or 2 generations behind in a software package or some sort of process, and it hurts them as they try to get back into the job market. So try to stay as current as possible. Again, that's not in the book, it's just some advice to you. So I realize I didn't go over a whole lot of stuff that's relevant to the chapter in terms of chapter 16. I think you have a pretty idea about the content in this chapter. That's why I didn't want to insult your intelligence. So if you have any questions as you work on the assignments, you work on the discussion question, please reach out and let me know. Have yourself a wonderful day and take care of yourselves. Bye.